Hello, shooters, loaders, and casters. Welcome to the Georgia Shooting Connection Friday night live stream. We're glad you're here. Hope you had a great week. Speaking of which, Hillbilly, how was your week, brother?
Oh man, mine's doing great. Had a good week. Just having a lot of fun. Yep. A little Christmas shopping here and there and making some videos.
Very good. Very
great
good.
week so far. And CW, how's your week, buddy?
Pretty good. Pretty good. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's doing well. Good to see Walter. I know he's a little under the weather. Good to see him up here and active. I got the rains today and 20-degree weather. That was fun. No, it wasn't. I got chilled and I got home and I put on an extra sweatshirt and I'm still a little chilled. I just took my hat off. I was running around here with a hat on indoors because I was so chilled. But pretty good week. It went really quick. We had some rain. We had some wind. We had some cold weather. The rain took away all our snow. So tomorrow is my opening day for muzzleloader season. It opened on Wednesday. So I'll get out in the woods tomorrow, see what happens. And looking forward to the chat tonight and sitting down, relaxing, and talking to you folks and everyone on the side chat, of which is really active. It's just jumped like crazy just when we came on the air here. So, Ricky, how are you doing? How was your week?
All right. Welcome, everybody and stuff. And I had a good week, I guess. Another 50 hours of work. That's about it for me this week. So did get a scope in sat today that I got off of eBay. Got a good price on it. I'll be doing an unboxing on that here tomorrow, maybe. So that's about it for me. How about you, Kentucky Rimfire?
Oh, I got another work weekend. Had to put in an extra day today. I had a mandatory foreman's meeting in Lexington, Kentucky, which is 2.5 hours away from me. So that kind of messed up my whole Friday off. And looking forward to getting out there tomorrow and shooting some of these challenges. And thanks for having me on, Jamie. Glad to be here.
Hope it's a little warmer for you tomorrow.
Oh, really? I think it's supposed to be in the 50s tomorrow.
Oh, good. That'll be good. That'll be all right. Andy, how you doing? How was your week?
Busy as hell at work, busy as hell at home, and just casting up a storm, trying to replace everything I shot. Almost done. All good though. How's everybody else doing? Side chat, you guys hopefully having a good week out there. How about you, VAO? You're muted.
There we go. I'm muted anyway. I've been down with a cold all week and voice isn't much tonight, but I'm on the mend. I'll be better. I got to be better by Sunday. It's going to rain tomorrow. I haven't been to the range all week and I can't go tomorrow. And I haven't shot the 6-shooters bullets yet. And I got video due out with those on Monday. So I better be better by Sunday so I can go shoot those suckers and see how they do. Anyway, all's good. I've been sitting at the bench, staying warm, doing brass, crap like that. Sickly stuff anyway. How you doing over there, Gene?
I'm doing pretty good. Welcome, everybody, to the Georgia Shooting Connection. Thanks for joining us all tonight. We greatly appreciate you all. Look at this wonderful panel I'm a member of. I'm so proud. Had a busy work week. Prime brass, man. I prime so much reman 9mm. Probably did somewhere around between 80 and 90,000 rounds. Besides my other chores at the shop, what I do. But I got a really good Black Friday haul in. I got a little video on most of the fun stuff I wanted to show. Of course, I got a bunch of kitchen items and this and that. You know how we do it on Black Friday and that Cyber Monday. Broke the bank account. It's ramen noodle week this week, baby. I ain't even got no chicken to put in it, which is the sad part. It's just the chicken flavoring. Ah, life struggles. Oh, that's it for me. Gonna have a good show tonight. I got something very interesting to show on What's Hot Pot Got, so I'm gonna need some viewer participation on this one. That's it. That's all I got. Back to you, Jamie.
It's on you, Walter. How was your week, brother?
He
Already went.
You already went? My bad.
Oh,
There you
Rebel
are.
can go.
yeah, incoming.
How was
Here he
your
is.
week, Rebel?
There's the rebel. He's out on the porch again.
Oh yeah, I'm out on the porch. I stay on the porch.
How was your week?
Busy for once. Had a man order a Winchester 70 Super Grade for his wife for Christmas, and I said, "Did you get her this instead of a diamond?" And he said, "I just want my Remington 700 back." So, apparently, she hunts. So it was a beautiful gun, though, gorgeous gun.
Yeah, I bet it was. I bet it was. If y'all wondering what I'm doing, the email that I use to send these guys their links every week is Yahoo, and I'm going to start doing that over on Gmail because most of the guys have Gmail email accounts, and
Yep.
So I've got this list, and I click this list, and some of the names have been taken off of the list, and others that I've never put in that list are in there, and I'm like wondering what's going on. And anyway, Gene didn't get a link because he's usually one of the first ones in here, and Rebel didn't get a link, and so I'm editing the list as we go along here. So
That's my Uncle Bob.
Hey, Uncle Bob.
Everybody say hello to my Uncle Bob.
Hey, buddy.
Bob,
Bob.
you're part of the fam family now.
We went shooting today.
Good deal. I had a real life Uncle Jim who taught me to hunt and shoot and all that kind of stuff, and very cantankerous individual. And I love him, but he was. And one of the first guns I hunted with was a one of those Savage, as I've learned now from CW, is a Savage number 20, model 24. There's Georgia Boar 44. Welcome
Help
back.
Pastor.
And mine was 22 long rifle on top, 410 shotgun on the bottom.
My favorite.
And
That was my buddy's first gun. Yep.
I would love to find me one of those, but I ran up on one at a gun show back about 2 years ago. I went and got Kyle, and we went down the foot of the hill from his house. Got one of $700 for one, and I'm like, dang man, that's like 4 times what they cost brand new back in the day. And maybe that's something we should talk about a little bit tonight, is how everything is more expensive.
Yeah, but in the gun world, outside forces have driven that everyone's an expert now. Everyone can get on Gunbroker and then go to CW or me and go, why won't you buy my gun for $9,000? Because that's what it's worth. Because I saw it on Gunbroker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, it's worth $2.98.
Yep, $3.80.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine that we were out shooting, and he had a shotgun. He said something about he's thinking about getting rid of it. I'm like, well, what do you want for it? And he goes, I don't know. I have to go on Gun Broker and see what they're worth. And I said, never mind.
That's not a true. Yeah, go to the Blue Book, get an idea, and then go to Gun Broker and kind of average that out. You know, that's what we do.
Yeah.
So,
And don't just click on Gun Broker. Click on selling. What are they selling for at Gun Broker? Not what they're asking for.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, sold for.
Yeah,
Half
so
50
many
it's sold for.
so many people don't look at the gun's been there for 6 months and it's got 2 bids. You know, it's funny. Oh, but it's worth $9,000.
Another thing about that I think a lot of folks might not understand is you got to ship them your gun.
Yep.
Am I correct on that?
Yeah.
Yes. And you have to pay the buyer has to pay sales tax. The seller has to pay the gun broker fee.
Yep.
It's not a cheap. It's not like taking it to your local gun shop and say, sell this on consignment for me. And I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'll say, I get 12%. Okay. Well, I want $450 for it. Well, I'll get 12% of that. Thank you very much. And if you don't like that, then, sell on Gun Broker. You're going to pay a lot more than 12%.
Yep.
Hey, Mark Thomas, how was your week, buddy?
Hey, buddy.
Oh, my week was great. Thanks for having me. I had to do a little bit of cleanup after dinner, so sorry I'm a little bit late, but darn good dinner.
I was going to say, I'm looking for the bearded one. I don't see him. There he is. He's a circle.
We had some beef tips over rice and some broccoli. Made my wife.
VA, you say he's out on the porch again. Well, like it's a bad thing. As long as you don't see a doghouse behind me, I'm fine.
There you go.
That sounds good, Mark.
Sounds real good,
Oh,
Mark.
It was great.
Yeah, me and CW is always watching eBay, and I showed him the other day. Was it a barrel or something? I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, there was a couple things. One was a scope that was beyond realistic high, and one was a 7mm Super Mag.
Yeah, Super Mag.
Yeah.
No, well, that's not the one though. But they had the price up at $300 and something bucks, and I go, you can get it on Midway for $299 brand new.
Yeah.
Was this a contender barrel or what?
It might have been. I don't remember now.
There's a couple things we bounce back and forth, kind of point and laugh.
Well, eBay's got a surprising number of old gun parts. Kind of surprised me. Problem is, you see something you want and you click on it, and you're like, all right, I got the rare, this and that back and forth, and you don't pay any attention to where it's shipping from. Might be shipping from Tasmania.
Yeah, it was an SKS barrel.
Really?
Yeah, and you can get that same barrel on Midway for $292, I believe it is, and somebody had bid it up to $341. Idiots.
Yeah, I mean, look at what 700. Look at what 700s are going for on eBay, on Gun Broker. I mean, they're going for some of the old classics like anything in 221 Fireball. Jeez, but the average 700 with a wood stock is going for better than $1,000 on Gun Broker. Or they're asking, I should say. I don't know if they're going.
Yeah, so are the Ruger M77s.
Mm-hmm.
And I got one of those that I was thinking about selling because I don't shoot it that much. And now after I see what they're worth and what they're going to, I'm like, nah, man, I'll just keep that.
Yeah, a year ago I went to the gun store a year and a half ago with my Ruger in 3006. The guy told me, he says, you can put it on consignment if you want. He said, you're lucky if you get $350 for it. So I'll keep it.
What gun was that now?
MR77, a Ruger.
That guy's not very honest.
No.
I would have told you what they're bringing and it in the shape it was in and said, okay, I'll get 12%. You know, I mean, that's just
This guy was just. I bought quite a few things from him at good prices. Okay, and so I said I said I don't understand. Well, it's an old gun. Who wants it? I said what? I said never mind.
Yeah. Tang Safety 77s bring a premium.
yes. Everybody around here, if I had your gun on the shelf, Tang Safety, it wouldn't be there long. Especially not right now, because everybody's in the season of, well, my wife didn't get me nothing for Christmas. I'll get myself something for Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah, James, M77s they're not $400 rifles anymore,
Yep.
buddy.
Today's Mr. Pollard's birthday. Everybody wish him happy birthday today.
Happy
Happy birthday, JP.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, James.
Yeah, he got that scope from Rollis, I think.
Yep.
Sent him a scope and he put a little video up there and casually mentioned that it was his birthday.
That's a decent fair deal right there, I think. Georgia boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's not exceptional, but fair, I think.
it's fair. Depending on the shape it's in. I mean, now if it's a beater, and a lot of 94s are beaters, then no, but
It's a pre-64.
yep.
I got one for you. When I was a teenager, I bought a Narenko. It's a German Mauser in 22 long rifle, and it is a
Trainer.
Yep, a TU.
Yep. My cousin's got like 4 of them. It's a
TU
trainer.
TU 3340.
Mm-hmm.
I gave $215 for one in 1998. It was still in the Cosmoline.
And they're accurate rifles.
Very accurate. And I would love to have another one back, but they're like $700 now.
Yep.
I had a 177 model 98 Mauser trainer. 98 Mauser. Made by Mauser Waffen Works.
Wow.
That was pretty cool. Yeah. That one went down the road in the heat of Gunbroker.
Some of these things. Okay, let's get to our main topic for the evening just for a few minutes, and then we'll call out the side chat, and then we'll get back on Mr. Jack O'Connor as we continue the heroes. And we'll get some, there's Thor's axe. We'll get some panel input.
Oh Lord, I might have come on the wrong night.
Yeah, no, I don't think so, because I think your opinion is probably shared by the majority of the panel.
I heard Jamie picked him because Jack O'Connor loved 270.
Yeah.
We'll get into that shortly.
Thought he was an 06 man, 3006. Isn't that wrong?
270, man.
He used a 30-06 a lot too. John Wolf O'Connor, Woolf O'Connor, was born January 22nd, 1902, in Nogales. Am I saying that right? Arizona
Yeah.
Territory.
Nogales. Yep.
The timing of his birth allowed Jack to witness the end of the Old West, as well as the space age where men walked on the moon. What a conflict, right? Such mythical Western figures as Buffalo Bill Cody, Annie Oakley, Wyatt Earp, Bat Masterson, and Geronimo were still alive and kicking when Jack was in high school. Jack's parents divorced when Jack was 5 and his sister Helen was 2 years old. His mother, a teacher, moved her family to Tempe, where they initially lived in a large tent on a city block owned by her father. And she never remarried and eventually retired from what is now Arizona State University. And Arizona State University is in the college football playoff, but that's not what we're talking about tonight. Jack's maternal grandfather, James Wiley Wolf, spelled the same way, so his middle name was from his mother's side of the family. And he was a pioneer Westerner of standing in the community as well as a sportsman who appreciated firearms and enjoyed shooting. Jack's paternal uncle, Jim O'Connor, was a judge in nearby Florence who also owned a ranch in the nearby desert country. Both men served as surrogate father figures for young Jack, teaching him to shoot and encouraging his interest in firearms, hunting, and adventure. An avid reader, young Jack devoured the men's books and magazines on the sporting life. So he described Arizona, where he was born, as the last frontier. He taught English at the University of Arizona and became its first journalism professor. His first love was the outdoors and writing about hunting, firearms, and natural history of big game animals. As the longtime firearms editor of Outdoor Life magazine, O'Connor hunted and collected trophies throughout the world and introduced millions of readers to hunting and firearms. O'Connor moved to Lewiston, Idaho in 1948 and lived there until his death in 1978. Then it goes on about how he became a writer. During World War I, Jack lied about his age and joined the Army at 15, but was soon discharged when he was diagnosed with chronic tuberculosis. I thought back then that was pretty terminal.
Consumption. Yeah.
Yeah. He returned to school, graduating in 1919. That's the year my grandmother was born, and spent the summer shooting deer to feed an uncle's sawmill workers in Sinaloa, Mexico. I hope I pronounced that right. He joined the Navy that fall, saw a lot of the world as a hospital corpsman on the USS Arkansas, and was discharged in the summer of 1921. He attended Tempe Normal, now Arizona State University, for 2 years, University of Arizona at Tucson 1 year, and graduated from University of Arkansas in June of 1925. Get this, with a degree in banking and finance. Following a brief stint as a cub reporter in Chicago, he enrolled in graduate school at the University of Missouri, where he met his future wife, Eleanor Bradford Barry, and obtained his master's degree in English and journalism in 1927. That fall, he married Eleanor and accepted a teaching position at what is now Sul Ross University in Alpine, Texas. So they moved around a good bit.
He did.
And while at Alpine, he taught Eleanor to shoot and to hunt. They explored southwest Texas and northern Chihuahua on various hunting trips. Worked as an Associated Press stringer on the side. I don't know what that means. became a father and wrote a controversial novel called Conquest, which was published in 1930. That's the first I ever heard of that.
I thought it was the one where he proclaimed the 270 was the best of all.
That would be controversial and
Yeah,
some,
exactly. Yeah. my
just
point.
not here.
Must have just been a carrier of tuberculosis and not active, because he lived a long, long life with TB.
Yeah, he lived to be 76 years old. He became okay. So after he wrote that novel in 31, he returned to Arizona, and he was a public relations staff member at the State Teachers College at Flagstaff, now Northern Arizona University. And that's where Jack wrote his first outdoor stories, published in Sports Afield and Field and Stream magazine to augment his Depression era salary. His first article published in Outdoor Life was in May of 1934, was a conservation piece entitled Arizona's Antelope Problem, written from his observations of the Anderson Mesa herd nearby. In 34, Jack began his tenure at the University of Arizona, where he became the school's first journalism professor, establishing the department. By 1936, he was becoming well known as an outdoor writer on the subject of firearms hunting and big game natural history. He also wrote fictional short stories for popular magazines such as Red Book and Saturday Evening Post. By the end of the year, Jack had an exclusive contract with Outdoor Life, became its gun columnist in 1939, and assumed position of firearms and ammunition editor in 1941. In 45, Jack resigned from the University and academia and began his full-time career as an outdoor writer with Outdoor Life. So by 1945, he's 43 years old. And of course, there's a place called the Jack O'Connor Hunting Heritage and Education Center in Lewiston, Idaho. And if y'all are ever up that way, maybe you can drop in. All of his collection of trophies and everything else are there. A lot of his guns. And
Didn't Jack Grand Slam sheep? I think it's 4 sheep. I can't remember the names of them all. I know one's a bighorn, of course, but I think he Grand Slam Doll. And then there's a Mexican one. I have a customer he's an older man, but he's Grand Slammed the sheep. And that's quite an accomplishment. That's rough hunting.
dang,
Like
man, y'all really are on poor old Walter this season. And
I'm sure I deserve it.
we got Preacher's Day off out there this evening. That's excellent.
Well, Jamie,
One Jeep guy.
when did the 270? When was the inception of the 270 as a sporting cartridge? Let's correlate that with Jack and Jack's age at that time.
I don't know that.
Well, I know, but somebody could do a quick Wikipedia search and see when it was got Sammy specs. But you know, that would have been the 6.5 Creedmoor of the day. You know what I mean?
1925
1925
was released as a sporting cartridge for the Winchester Model 54.
There you go.
What's Hot Pod got?
There you go. Hot Pot's already got it.
All right, listen to this. Jack O'Connor was 57 years old when he walked into Herb Hardware in Lewiston, Idaho, and bought a new featherweight Model 70 and 270. Out of the box accuracy was rare, and this gun was exceptional. Surprised his new rifle was capable of minute of angle accuracy, Jack O'Connor took it to a gunsmith to customize it. So maybe we should look at some of those pictures.
Well, and I'll say that to this day, guys buy a brand new rifle and they spend big money for it. Maybe not. And they expect it to shoot little bug holes, a factory rifle with factory ammo. And when it shoots 1 inch, they're disappointed, because they've read into all the hype. But 1 inch that's killing deer all day long.
Mm-hmm.
And
I've had three Model 70 featherweights, and beautiful, beautiful rifles, but not one of them would shoot.
well, and they're kind of like a Model 7 Remington. They're ultralight
Well, I had
barrels.
Two of those, and both of those shot MOA.
Did they? Good.
Yep. Oh yeah.
My wife shoots 1 inch all day long.
Yeah, all day long. Factory ammo, no problem.
But you don't want to fire that thing like 3 times fast. That barrel heats up quick. It's a little wand,
All right, I'll show y'all a picture and then we'll call out side chat. That's the infamous Jack O'Connor.
That'd be him.
Okay, what can we type in, Walter?
I'm thinking Jack. We'll see how long it
Jack.
takes somebody to add Coke to it.
There's G23. Hey, buddy. Mac Man's out there. He just got home.
Hey, Mac, man. Good to see you.
I finally got his package mailed out today. I lost it in the back seat of my car. It hit the floor and went part way up under my seat. And I wondered where it was all this time, and I found it.
I didn't know Kyle was here on the panel. Not many of you.
I don't see him.
Not many of you get that joke. Jamie will when he thinks about it.
I can't think right now. I'm figuring out how to do it. So, of course, Walter, as always, is first. He's on the panel and in the side chat. So is CW Longshot. So is Andy 79Z28. So is Kentucky Rimfire and Hobbies. We got Bobby Barlow out there. We got Reloading from the Hot Pot on the panel, as well as Six Shooter Texan. And there's Thor's Axe. We got Daniel God is my judge insulting me. Vanessa
Please,
Kitty's
somebody
Lang,
type in Elmer.
Alaska One Andy is out there. Fluffy 10mm Jeep guy is out there. Andy again. Tactical Rabbit 308. Tommy Boy, Jack and Jill went up the hill. Mr. Pollard, the birthday boy, is out there and with us. We're glad to have all of y'all, but especially if you can come in here on your birthday. Tactical Fud's out there. Walks Fletcher is out there. Bama Dad is out there. Dwayne 7834. One guy. CW Longshot. There's Fluffy again. Floridian, what's going on, buddy? Ron 2A Matters. Chris Lang. Hillbilly Up is on the panel too. M. Gabriel is out there. Vanessa Kitty. Alaska One Andy. Daniel says Elmer Keith.
Elmer.
The two of those did
Thank
not
you,
get-
Daniel. I know. See, my grandma got me Field and Stream from the time I was a little younger and until she died. And I remember Elmer Keith being a contributor, and he was always that. Yeah, if a 270 will kill it dead, well, a 4570 or a 45 110 will kill it deader.
So y'all say happy birthday to G23. Also, his birthday was yesterday. All
Happy
these
birthday.
G.
It reminds me, I need to go to Midway and see what I can get on sale.
There you go. Birthday pricing.
Yeah.
Yep, they get an order from me every year, even if I don't need to spend it.
Me too. Sometimes you get some pretty good deals.
Sometimes you do, yeah.
So Vanessa Kitties was the first. Oh wow.
Look at them all.
James was born on Friday the 13th also. That kind of explains some stuff, doesn't
I
it?
was,
it does,
I was
doesn't
as well. I was a Friday the 13th baby too. Just
Oh,
November,
Mama's was,
not December.
Mama's was December 1st.
CW, I'm sure you were a blessing to your mother.
Yeah, a lot of Floridians is coming up before we'll have our next show. So happy birthday to Chris Lang also. I'm sorry I said Floridian, didn't I? I don't know why I got him on. All right. McMahon got his limited edition. Smith
Hey,
and
Mac,
Wesson
man.
1854.
Ooh,
Nice.
I think he's been waiting on that for quite a while. Seems to me like I heard him talk about ordering that a couple months ago, maybe.
you fellas ever heard the term "you got to have money to make money,"
Yeah.
or you got to spend money to make money? So
I know
we went.
I know you got to spend money to lose money. That's the part I know
Mhm.
about.
Well, we went ahead and got because they're allocated. We got a Marlin 44 mag in, and I looked at Chad. Chad looked at me, and I was like, I hope this thing don't sit on the shelf forever. And then Trent, our other partner, who's still new, whose eyes glisten every time a new gun comes in, oh, it won't sit on the shelf long. If I have anything, that thing was on the shelf less than a week. So we turned right around and got a 336 in 3030. And our guy, I'm not going to say which distributor, but our guy, he literally picks these big stores that have been allocated. Everything's been allocated to. And he's like, how many Marlins are you sitting on? You ready to take another one? No, you're not. Okay, I'm going to give it up. And he gives it to guys like me. So we got that 336 in. Good Lord have mercy. It's a trapper. It's 16 inches. It's got the hoop lever, the Skinner sights. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely friggin' gorgeous. And I was like, whatever velocity you're giving up with that barrel, who cares? I mean, the deer's not going to know the difference. That thing's just beautiful. Jack O'Connor wouldn't have used that.
No, he wouldn't have.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. He's a little too highbrow for that.
All right, so y'all be praying for our brother G23. He says he's going to have surgery on Christmas Eve. What a time to.
Boy,
Yeah, that sucks. Sorry, G. I hope your Christmas present's a speedy recovery.
Mm-hmm.
Scotsman's out there.
Hey, Jason.
Buddy.
All right, so yeah, he wrote a lot about the a lot about the 270.
You know what's so funny is I actually follow kind of Jack's ethos as far as big game hunting. I've been shooting deer with smaller and smaller stuff as I've gotten older. It's not that I can't stand recoil. It's it just doesn't take that much to kill a deer. Even a deer up in CW's neck of the woods. It really, if you put the bullet in the right place, it's done.
Or you hit it more than with what?
Yeah, it's done. It's over. It's as long as the bullet performs. And as a reloader, I'm blessed. I can pick my bullet and you know, if I hit that deer and I lose that deer, it's on me. It's really on me. It's, you know, so many guys that come into my shop, and when you own a gun shop, you get kind of jaded. You know, the guy comes in from the range and he's holding up a target and he's got an 8-inch group and he says, "That thing's shooting good, ain't it?" And you just kind of try not to roll your eyes, and you know, because he's a customer, and say, maybe you ought to buy a couple more boxes of ammo, bub. You know, and but Jack was obviously a good shot and knew what it took to take big game down, and it was entertaining to see him and Elmer Keith go back and forth because Jack kind of had my background. He came from an educated family. He was well versed, had seen the world. And then you had Elmer, who was a very narrow focus in the world, but very focused on firearms and bullet performance. And his opinion was bigger is better. And a lot of that's because Elmer was small. You know, I still believe that to this day. You know, but Elmer could shoot too. There's no doubt about that. But
Well, Elmer's, to my way of looking at it, Elmer's was more practical, hands-on knowledge.
I think so too. I mean,
not the case with the other fellow.
Yeah, and Elmer did necropsies. You know,
yeah. He knew why bullets work firsthand.
Exactly. And Jack
knew what he read.
And he had success with his cartridge, and you can't take that away from him. But he was applying more science, and Elmer was applying more real world experience, in my opinion. But it was fun to hear those two go back and forth. And I was a kid reading this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you know, Elmer made no bones about it. He Jack O'Connor's opinions disgusted him.
Yeah. Yep. He wasn't afraid to say so.
Mm-mm.
Imagine if they all could have sat down and had a chat like we all do every Friday night.
No doubt. I mean,
That would have been great.
what? Well, I don't know. I think Elmer might have got banned. But I mean, you know, you think about some of the great gun riders, Jack O'Connor, Elmer Keith, and Elmer was, his editors hated his ass because he would write in Elmer shorthand, which was like my shorthand. I'd write in North Carolina slang, you know, and Elmer did the same thing, and a lot of what he said made sense. You just had to decipher what he was saying. But there again, who was the help me out here, CW? Colonel who was the
Townsend? Townsend Whalen?
No, not Townsend. The Guns and Ammo.
We got the writer now still around.
No, he's passed away. Gunsight. Colonel Jeff Cooper.
Cooper, yeah.
Very opinionated. I mean, he thought the Steyr Scout rifle was the end all do all because he helped design it. Now I understand it. It was his baby, but I mean, only like 4 people in America could afford it at the time. Hated the 9mm. Hated it.
Smart man.
Mm-hmm.
Paul, anything with a 2 in the front, Elmer was against.
Yeah, he liked 4s.
He liked 4.
He liked 4s. Yes. If 4 was good, 5 was better.
Yeah.
Elmer was 20th century Quigley.
He was a big subscriber to diameter over speed or energy over velocity.
Yeah, and then I've seen it with my own eyes that speed kills.
Yeah, it does. It penetrates. It defeats armor. It does a lot of things. But I'll still take foot-pounds.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but you know, I did this
I was always
project.
amazed that bullet diameter wasn't more predominant.
Here's a legitimate question for us to ponder.
Almost all of us will be, looking for respectful of or want to see bullet expansion. What does bullet expansion get you? Diameter. So if you start with diameter, aren't you better off? You got a 30 caliber that might expand to 45, but you start with 45. Aren't you better off?
Well, I did this thing where a few years back, this was 15 years back. I decided I was going to shoot a deer with, every time I killed a deer, I was going to move to a different cartridge. I did not realize how much of a pain in the butt this was going to be. So I had to sight in like 6 rifles, right? So I off one stand, I had a buddy of mine that had a doe problem. And he said, Mike, I know you don't mind shooting does. He said, come over here and kill some does for me. So the first doe I killed was with a 45-70, 300 grain hollow point. She ran approximately 60 yards and hit her right behind the shoulder. You know, she dead man walking, you know. The only reason it took us a little while to find her because she ran into a thicket, of course. And so he said, well, come back this weekend and shoot another doe. And I went, okay. So I put that rifle down and I brought a 243 bolt action, 85 grain nozzler partition. I shot a doe of the same size at the same corn pile, and she ran 20 yards and piled up. Now I shot her in the same place, and I was like, I'm scratching my head. I was like, how does this happen? You know, I mean, both were through and through. I mean, you know, not much of a blood trail to follow if you're for watching them fall, but the 243 actually downed it quicker than the 4570, which kind of blew me away. And I went on that year. That's when I determined that a 7mm Magnum was way too much for North Carolina whitetails. Way too much. Yeah, you recover half the meat.
So, if I may interject, M. Gabriel has a question from a couple minutes back. Thin jacketed bullets are more stable than thick jacketed, right? Everything else the same. I'm asking because I don't know.
I don't think so, because the rifling's going to engrave said jacket, you know, no problem. I know most target bullets like burgers that are J4 jackets are very thin. I don't, you know, they're accurate, but I don't know if they're more stable.
Yeah, I disagree. Look at solid copper bullets. Nothing more than the super thick jacket that goes all the way through the other side.
Actually, there ain't no jacket, is there?
Right.
Yeah. It's monolithic. Yeah.
So, all things equal, no. All things not equal, you might have an argument.
Yeah, Tommy Boy has a good way of it. Deer are weird. Sometimes they fall over dead right there, but the next one will run to the next county.
Ain't that the truth?
The way I interpret that, Rebel, with the 4570 to 243 is a similar way I proclaim and prefer a cup and core bullet to a monolithic. And that is because when you get a little bit of speed, and there's a happy medium there, when you lose a little speed, you get a little bit of a bullet fragmentation.
Yep.
Which you do not get with monolithics, and you don't get with slow-moving, big, heavy slugs. And I find that a little bit of bullet fragmentation absolutely kills better, faster.
Well, 4570 is like shooting a deer with a muzzle loader.
Correct.
It makes a big hole.
Yep.
In one side and a big hole in the other side. Yep. And I shot a buck with that 4570, and it threw it to the ground. It was like 45 yards, and that booger hit the ground, and he got back up and he stumbled and kind of fell like 40 yards, you know. And I've never lost a deer with that thing, if I hit them right. But that's when I started developing my theory of aiming to the crease. If you look at a deer mount, I'm sitting here doing it like I'm a deer. But if you look at a deer mount, the crease where the shoulder meets the neck, if I hit in that line, I don't care if it's with a 22 Magnum. They don't go nowhere.
Yeah, I like the hip bones. I'll take a little bit of lost meat. I'll take a little bit. I'll sacrifice that for not having to chase them over hill and dale.
Now, given CW's deer are on average 75 to 100 pounds heavier than what I have down here as far as a mature buck, okay, in the rut. So we're getting some big racks here now. Finally, but the body size, I think they originally stocked Wisconsin deer here to supplement the herd back in the 40s. And every once in a while, you'll see that Wisconsin era wide, tall rat come out. And I've seen it more this year. I had a buddy of mine that killed a 164-ish deer, mainframe 10, 2 crab claws, 1 drop tine kicker. Just a 5.5-year-old beauty. And the story is so funny. I've always been careful about my scent, and I keep my clothes. If I turn the camera the other way, y'all could see my clothes piled out here on the front porch. I have to shake the stink bugs out of them when I go hunting. Adrian went hunting that day, climbed up in his box stand. His son texted him, said, "Pop, there's a buck, a small 8-pointer. He's dead. He's been hit by a car. He's 30 yards behind your stand." And I wired his antlers to a tree so the coyotes couldn't take his antlers. Okay. So Adrian's looking back and he's like, "Oh my God, I got this stinking thing." And Adrian's my age. So he's sitting up the stand. All of a sudden he gets the bubble guts. So he has to get down and take care of business. Let's just put it that way without getting too graphic. And he climbs back up in the stand. He says, "That's great. Great. I've just used the bathroom. I got a dead buck behind me. And what am I going to see today?" And he looks up and here stands this monster, at his corn. And he shot it with a 45-70 and killed it. And so I called Adrian after I saw his post on Facebook. I called Adrian and left him a voicemail. I said, "Could you dig that golden horseshoe out of your butt and wash it off and let me borrow it for a couple of days?" And he just came in the shop laughing. He came in the shop laughing. I grabbed his hand, shook his hand, said, "Congratulations." I said, "Is that the biggest whitetail you've ever killed?" He said, "Yes, sir." He said, "I promised myself this year I wasn't going to shoot a deer unless it was 5 years old, 5.5 years old." He said, and that's exactly what I did. And my God, what a beauty. What a beautiful deer.
Yeah, they're all different, just like us. You can have short, fat ones. You can have wide ones. You can have long ones. You can have just overall just bigger statured. They're just like us. They're all different and different weights and everything. That one right there was 260 pounds after hanging for 5 days. So he was over 300 pounds on his hoof. And he didn't look that big to look at him until you put him into perspective. He was long.
Right.
So overall big, not just big, heavy, wide, muscular, bulky. He was long.
I got a deer similar to that one, the mainframe 8. This rack doesn't look that big, but when I took him to the taxidermist, and it's the biggest deer I'd ever killed and never killed since, I wanted to take him to a good taxidermist, and a friend of mine recommended a guy, and I drove an hour to see him, and it come to find out he was Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s taxidermist. Well, he knew what he was doing. He also had a captive deer farm there. I don't think he has it anymore because North Carolina's laws have really gotten restrictive on that because of CWD. But basically what him and Dale were doing, Dale had a high fence around his property, and this deer was a big, huge, I think, Wisconsin buck, and he was breeding them, and they were catching the deer and then releasing them into Dale Earnhardt's property. So this deer was named Boaz, like Boaz, dash AZ, and his antlers were straight. They looked like dead spruce trees. They came up like devil horns. They were just straight, and they had little sprigs off of them. He was 7.5 years old when I saw him, and of course he had to saw his horns off because he killed those. And he was 300 pounds at the time. And but Kenny told me, he said, "Your deer, do you want it on a piece of wood?" And I said, "No, I want it modern. I want it like it's coming out of the sheetrock." I said, "I want it in a semi-sneak." And he said, "Okay." He said, "Good, because I'd have to put that thing on an elk board." It dressed 193. That was dress weight. And that's a huge deer for North Carolina, huge deer.
Okay.
That one in the middle there wasn't even 150, and that one over there was 180. But that one over there was late in the season, and you could see his backbone. His hams were that wide. He was just really, really run down, and I'd never seen that deer before.
He'd been a 250-pound deer.
Yeah, he was probably about that live weight when he was healthy. But so it's how much they run, how much they're all different. They're all different. We're getting time for Gene there, Gene.
I know. You ready, Gene?
Oh yeah.
Okay, here we go.
And then a Kit Kat commercial.
It's time for What's on my God?
Hot Pot found this at the shop. Now, this is a 30 caliber projectile. It's a 7.62. But vague information about this. Now, the primer pocket is kind of weird. The primer pocket looks like this when you look down inside of it. So it actually has a primer cup insert and takes a 50 BMG primer. Now, what vague information I could find about this is it's a high-powered machine gun round designed to go through body armor at 200 meters.
Weird. That is so weird.
I took a flashlight and shined it down into the flash hole, and that is a separate cup. But it takes a number 35 50 BMG primer.
Is it a 308?
7.62. Yep.
Dang. I hope I never run into them.
Well, now on what little bit of information me and my boss Heath could find on this is this could be a Cuban made cartridge or a South African cartridge.
Huh.
And we've only seen a couple of these come through. There was 2 in this last batch of brass we got from Colorado. Them Colorado people got some money, man, because that's where we get all that 338 Lapua and stuff from. But
would that be belt fed, Gene?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So so if anybody out there in the side chat has any more information on this, please chime in the side chat, because all the info on this is vague. But that is just odd to have. I put a large pistol primer in this and spun it around.
Dang. Well, you come up with something I've never seen. That's for sure. That's wow.
What does Zach say?
He believes it's a priming round for artillery rounds.
No, it's a machine gun round.
That's
But
crazy.
I thought that was really neat. So if anybody's got any more information on this, man, let me know, because this is something that's going up on my shelf. That's for sure, as a rare find oddball cartridge.
Yeah, and
But
obviously y'all couldn't resell that. I mean, what the heck? You know,
even if we had 10,000 of them, I mean, who's going to buy it?
I'm not.
It take, what kind of powder did they have to use in this to get that to fire to use that 50 BMG primer?
Ugh.
That it's just amazing. It's amazing some of the stuff I find. But I want to thank everybody for ordering for Black Friday. Because of that, we got a nice Christmas bonus, and in my Black Friday score video, I picked me up a new firearm with my Christmas bonus. So it was basically kind of free. But thanks to everybody out there that's purchased from us and got the memberships. So that's it. That's all What's Hot Pot got.
That's wacky, man. That's neat.
I think now would be a time to make an announcement for next week, Gene.
I was just going to do that, but I wanted to ask you about that first. I didn't want
I've told the panel members that were here at the time, we want to do something for our viewers at Christmas time, and next Friday night is the last time we'll gather together before Christmas. Y'all know that Gene has promoted Republic Ammo on his spots, and y'all have responded well, and kind of in appreciation for that, and kind of in hopes of perpetuating that relationship. You want to tell them what your company's doing, Gene?
Yes. For Christmas, one lucky winner will win a 1-year membership to the Republic Ammunition Buying Club, which will give you free hazmat through the year. So purchase as much as you like, and you get free hazmat. He'll do deals where you get free shipping too. He also does member giveaways every month, where he gives away gift cards and or products. It just depends on how he feels, what he's up. He tries to change it up to keep it kind of interesting. I talked to him about this, and I am going to be purchasing a $100 gift card for Republic Ammunition to be used. So there'll be 2 items donated: the membership for my boss Heath, and the $100 gift card for me.
And I am going to throw in a $50 gift card from either the winner's choice, basically, of Brownells, Midway, Amazon, the usual suspects.
Republic Ammunition.
Or you can choose Republic Ammunition as well. And I'll get that taken care of, and hopefully send it to your email before the show is over with. So
Nice. That's very, very nice, Gene. That's just really cool. You too, Jamie.
If you think about it, if you just order powder 3 times a year, different companies, the hazmat alone pays for that membership. I mean, really, I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's $100 a year, and you place orders every day. It doesn't matter. He's gonna soak that up.
Right.
But we have had a fantastic year. This is only the 3rd year in business, and we've had a fantastic year. We're always on AmmoSeek. We're always in the top running on AmmoSeek with our prices. And we get so much good feedback. We're carrying like a 4.8 star rating.
And think about it, Gene. You had a great year under this administration. Not to get into politics, but y'all know it's been tough on me. And if you've had a great year, that's great. That's super.
Well, we've had
Fantastic.
we've had a great year because of public fear.
Yes. And fear buying, I don't like necessarily. I mean, I like it. I like that, but that goes away pretty quick. And then complacency sets in. But the stuff you're into, reloaders, us guys, the people here on this panel, the people in the side chat, they tend to consistently buy. We're always hoarding.
Yeah.
In other words.
I see a lot of familiar names on packages going out. I help load the skid some days, and I see a lot of familiar names on there, and it's like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, there you go.
It's really nice to see that, and I'm happy to promote it, but because my boss is very good to me.
Do y'all carry new brass too?
Yeah.
Do you carry Lapua?
We can get Lapua new brass.
Okay. That's just one more place for me to shop. I mean, I'm always looking.
Most of the time it's going to be once fired. But most of that Lapua brass comes from, like I said, comes from Colorado. And that's where we get most of the 3030, the 338, the 4440. That's where that stuff comes from.
Lapua once fired brass, and you ain't picking it up. You got too much money. Yeah.
So, Jamie and Gene, kind of back to next week. What's your idea for what we'll do next week?
Well, everybody's got to wear some kind of Santa hat. Okay, you got to Christmas your stuff up a little bit.
I don't
I already got Santa hat. I got some really nice surprises over here.
Tex.
There you go.
Tex got a Santa hat.
So I think everybody should Christmas it up a little bit to just celebrate the season of brotherly love and giving away people's stuff.
I'll work on something. Y'all might not like it, but I'll work on something.
Everybody. What I'm going to do as soon as everybody sees me, they're going to expect it. So it doesn't matter.
Okay. My vision was to just use the giveaway tool. And we'll come up with some kind of hashtag to put in there, and we'll just draw till we give stuff away.
Perfect. Yeah.
You guys on the panel, if y'all would like to contribute, it would be greatly appreciated. And I know our guys, our viewers would watch that. And Copa Phil, I don't own an ugly Christmas sweater, and I don't anticipate buying one between now and next week. But, as Preacher's Day off, I got the white beard. And
oh, come on, Jamie, you gotta get an ugly Christmas sweater.
No.
Yeah, come on, you only gotta wear it for a couple hours.
Tommy Boy obviously either knows or looked up the BLH head stamp on a 7.62 caliber cartridge indicates that the ammunition was manufactured by that, which I can't pronounce, and not even one, which is a German ammunition manufacturer, specifically known military product.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I tried looking it up, and I kept hitting dead ends on it. I don't know where he found that at, but man, good. So we know something about it now. It's like me. It's good in German.
Pistol Pete. You guys could be convincing Santa Claus, but I'm not sitting on your lap, though.
I'd sit on Mark's lap.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what we got planned for next week. So I hope all you guys will come back next week. We had 54 up there a while ago, and we started talking about doing a giveaway, and we lost some viewers. How is that possible? Anyway,
Hey, you know what? We could do an ugliest gun we've ever shot contest and just show picture of it.
yeah.
The ugliest gun you've ever shot. Not that you own, but you've shot. And I've already got mine in. I already got mine in there.
I know what mine would be. This kid that was friends with my son came over and brought his newly acquired, and I won't say what it was. I'll save that for next week. I'll look up a picture of it. But the thing worked. I mean, it really worked, and shot surprisingly well.
Mine didn't work. And it was ugly. And it was
If Chris
pretty-
from the 740 comes in on that one, we're all dead with that. What was that thing that he had that carbon fiber shroud made for his? Did you guys see that?
Mm-mm.
Oh man, he took a heritage that what they call it, the cowboy, the 22 that had the rail on top of it.
The Space Cowboy, is that what they call?
Yeah, and he had somebody 3D print a carbon fiber shroud to put over it, so it looked like some kind of a real space gun. And it's the ugliest thing I ever seen in my life. But he put it together and shot it, had a holster for it and everything. It was funny. He did a couple videos with it recently.
Paul Loud? No, I can't. I have a speech impediment. Yeah. G23 got it right. Tactical Cowboy.
That's it.
Yep, that was it.
I'm confused, preacher.
They're using match heads as the primer. All right, so they'll take match heads and crush them up and drop them into the empty 22 shell, swirl it around. I don't know if he's making it into a liquid or a powder or what, and then reloading the 22 shell. They're notoriously unreliable, but it's possible.
That might have been my buddy JW Sig. He's just a little bit up north of me.
I've seen some videos on people reloading 22, and I'm like, nah, it's not worth that.
When I was shooting silhouettes, there was a lot of people, they would pull the bullets and replace them with better bullets.
Really?
Yep.
I'll be darned.
Especially the 22 mags.
Oh yeah, I know that dude, JW Sig.
Yep.
He's from Pennsylvania. I've watched a good many of his videos back when I actually had time to do stuff like that.
He's been tinkering some of that match head stuff.
They have those kits at the local loading store.
I mean, y'all remember that one? I know Six does.
Coca-Cola Cowboy.
Yep. Mel Tillis.
Mm-hmm. I just remember Mel Tillis on Cannonball Run, where Terry Bradshaw asked him, or he asked Terry Bradshaw if he brought enough beer, and they've got like a hand truck lined up with it. And Terry Bradshaw says, plenty. He said, you bring enough snacks? And Mel Tillis holds up a bag of Doritos. He says, plup, 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 plenty.
I love that guy.
I do too. He was so funny.
Chris Lang says, good night, everybody.
Not Chris.
All right.
To me, and I know I'm going to make somebody mad, and I don't mean to. It's just my opinion. You do not have to share it. And Dean and I have had this conversation. But to me, one of the ugliest guns ever conceived by mortal man are those shotgun bullpups.
Oh God, yes. I agree.
Disgusting.
I don't really like bullpups because the port noise is like right here. And
Yeah.
the powder, the poof of the powder is like right here. A buddy of mine got a Tavor and he was like, oh, Mike, you want to shoot it? You want to shoot it suppressed? And I was like, okay, the gas in your face was horrible. No, I don't like bullpups.
It seems very similar to the concept of, you remember back in some of the old cowboy movies when they'd actually put a stock on their revolver and they would shoot it with the gas cap is right there in their eye. And I'm like, who possibly thought this was a good idea?
Nobody. Yeah, nobody.
I mean, it's one of the things that looked good on paper, but the first guy that shot it was like, hey, y'all didn't think this out very well.
Sold a many of them, though.
You doggone right they did.
I like the dude and Joe Lamar and Joe Kidd that shot the Broomhandle Mauser with the stock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a bad, yeah. Lamar got his though.
Yeah, he did.
Yep. The bell tower there. Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
Y'all talking about that's an interesting concept too. Preacher's Day Off brings up that Survival 22. Henry's making those now.
You talking about the one that the stock floats, or are you talking about no, that's a Springfield, the one that folds.
The M6. M6.
Yeah. That's a neat little gun. Walt's High Point's uglier than a rusty boat anchor. It's uglier than that. Yeah.
I got a little Badger that folds in half.
Yeah. I've sold a couple of those. Those are cool.
Yeah, I like it. Shoots good.
Y'all talking about, we were talking earlier, we mentioned Mel Tillis being in Burt Reynolds movies. Does anybody remember WW and the Dixie Dance Kings?
Yeah, I do.
He was in that movie. The star of that show was really that 1956 Buick Special.
Yeah.
Nice car.
I think it was black and gold, if I remember right. Anyway, that was probably 3 movies or 4 movies before Smokey and the Bandit. So you got to really.
Well, if you think about it, the Cannonball Run had so many funny people in it. Had Sammy Davis Jr. and had oh God, brain fart. The guy that played so many John Wayne movies, the Italian guy, played priests, and then Dom DeLuise. Oh my Lord, he just, and Burt Reynolds, it would go to slap him. You know, they'd show the bloopers, and Burt Reynolds would go to slap him, and Dom DeLuise would hunker down. I mean, he was really hitting him, you know, because he was. Dom DeLuise just told him, he said, just slap me if I bust out into uncontrollable laughter and I'll stop. And
Dean
Burt
Martin.
Reynolds, Dean Martin, thank you. But Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr. were funny as crap in that movie.
Yep.
Yeah, that car looked very much like a 55 Chevy Walks. I can't remember so many of you guys remember that movie. Dwayne says it was the 1956 Golden Anniversary Olds. Pistol Pete says best looking gun is the
1911.
There's Hillbilly's back. He's gone, now he's back.
Hey.
Sorry about that.
That's
Sorry,
one of my-
guys. I had a phone call I had to take. So
That right there is one of my favorite songs as I was growing up. Jerry Reed's Amos Moses.
Yeah.
If you don't know that one, go look it up. So,
M. Gabriel just got me with the rosary bleeds. That was
Rosary bleeds. Yes. That was in the bloopers. What, these bleeps? Yeah. And Dean Martin goes, these bleeps? And Sammy says, yeah, those bleeps. Oh my God.
yeah, y'all. I think Walks thinks the Colt Single Action Army is the prettiest gun.
I agree with Walks.
I'm gonna have to as well.
Those are great.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, be still my heart.
Hello, Mig.
Oh,
Adrian Barbeau. Oh yeah. I wasn't gonna say it. Her in that zipper jumpsuit. Oh my Lord.
Look at Measures and Grains drops by on us. We are honored. Hey,
Hi,
Mig.
Mig.
Hi,
Hi,
Mig.
Mig.
Don't work too hard, brother.
I like
Jack-
Adrian Barbeau and Creep Show.
Yeah, I liked her Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Jamie said measures and grains. I was looking up and he just said Adrian Barbeau. And I was like, measuring grains? You mean measuring pounds? You know, that's what I'm thinking. Oh Lord, she was pretty. Y'all remember the Gator movies with Burt Reynolds?
Mm-hmm.
The guy that looked like
Crosby?
Jerry Reed. Yeah. But I always wanted a 4-door Ford LTD with the 390. I've gotten the truck out there. Ain't running right now, but I would love to put that in a sleeper car with a top loader Ford 4-speed. Hello, goodbye.
Well, me and my buddy had a Ford LTD 4-door, and we called it the Turd.
Yeah,
We go out on the back country hilly roads,
yeah.
and we jumped all kinds of stuff in that car.
a friend of mine had one
It
growing
was a
up.
battle wagon.
They took salsa and cut the top off of it.
We had a few. My last one was a 78.
I had a friend with one of them.
Well, I'm not going to try and start an argument here, but GM had the Chevrolet small block, which was plug and play, but the Ford big blocks, when they went after Dodge, when they went after the Hemi, Ford versus Ferrari. That's my buddy he's 80 years old now. He's a big Ford guy, and he got me into Ford big blocks. And the 427, you can just stop right there. That's end all, do all, everything. Torque, horsepower, muscle, it's all there, and they were chasing the 426, and they caught it, I'd say. NASCAR banned all of them. You know,
Yep.
They whooped up on the Ferraris too.
yeah, they did big time.
Okay,
Enzo was not happy.
okay, it's time for our verse of the week, and we've been talking about our faith sheet. Uh, we've talked about F is for forgiveness. A is for available but not automatic. Last week we talked about I is for impossible. We can't go to heaven on our own. This week we're going to talk about T, and T is for turn. Turn means to repent, or repent means to turn. Turn from something. What we need to turn from is sin and ourselves. Luke 13:3 says, I tell you, no, but unless you repent, you too will all perish. So if we turn away from sin and turn away from what we want, which is basically worshiping ourselves, we got to turn to someone. We got to trust Christ only. And in John 14:6, Jesus answered, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. And I didn't look these verses up or look up any commentary on them because I think they're pretty simple and self-explanatory. Jesus is basically telling you in Luke that you've got to turn from the ways of the world and turn to godly living and turn to Him and trust Him for your Savior. And John 14:6, Jesus Himself answers that I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Both of these verses remind me of other passages of Scripture, but the one in John 14:6, we hear that a lot at funerals and other things. But Acts, I think it's 4:6, says there is no other name given amongst men under heaven whereby by which we must be saved. It's all about Jesus, guys. And we're coming up on the time when we're going to celebrate His birthday, Him leaving heaven and entering earth, surrounded by flesh. And what a blessing! The greatest Christmas gift of all was the very first Christmas when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea. Questions or comments?
I don't know if this is pertinent for the discussion, but I look at our president's cabinet picks, and I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to disrupt, and he's trying to change the very secular. Is that the right word, Jamie? Washington, D.C. The very sinful. I mean, you could throw a rock in the Congress and it'd bounce off 5 people and hit guys that have a Webster's dictionary of sin, and some of his cabinet picks are having to answer for things that they've done in their past life to people that are acting like they are judge, jury, and executioner, and only Jesus can be that. Only God can be that. And when they say, you know, I'm a different person now, you know, I found Christ. Why isn't that good enough? Why isn't that good enough? Why does the mainstream media blow it up as if it was an unforgivable sin, when all sin is forgivable if you take a knee and ask for forgiveness? Why don't they believe that? And it just tells me the state of the country's still in. It bothers me greatly. Lord knows, I've said this before, and I want people to take it to heart. People say I never ran for I didn't run for office because I have skeletons in my closet. I don't have skeletons. I have a graveyard. Yeah, I've done a lot of bad stuff, and the lady sitting in here in the warmth, she turned me around without even trying to turn me around, and that's what love's all about. And when you feel the love of Christ, it's humbling. It's very humbling, especially when you've been a bad boy for years and years and years. You know, it humbles you. It makes you just want to crawl into a corner and cry, because there's no way he could forgive you for what you've done, and yet he's doing it. That's a very uneducated, from the heart way of just kind of saying something. I don't know if it made any sense or not. I don't know if anybody will get anything out of that, but somebody else talk.
I heard Michael Signs over there.
Here's Mr. James Pugh.
Brother James.
The original Mr. Pew Pew.
For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world, and is passing away. But that's not John 2:16. That's 1 John 2:16. Preacher's Day Off says, I don't judge, but I do inspect fruit. By their fruits you shall know them. Bama Dad says, it's like falling in love. You will forsake all others and cling to the one. The one is Jesus, King of Kings, Lord of Lords. Once you know him intimately, you can never turn away. That's a big amen right there. Yeah. Alaska One Andy. Christmas is a birthday, brother. It's a birthday. James Pugh joined us. Amen, brother. Christ was meek and lowly of heart. Those that follow him must be as well. And that's where we all get in trouble, right? Anyway, thanks for indulging me with the verse of the week, guys. I know that runs some viewers away, but I don't care. As long as the Lord keeps laying it on my heart, that's what we're going to be doing at 9:30. And
That doesn't bother me at all, Jamie.
I hope the Lord will change their hearts and want to hear his word. So, you all right, Hillbilly?
Yeah. Doing good.
All right. So, yeah, we're going to try to do a giveaway next week, and I'm looking forward to it.
Giveaways are always fun, and that's really gracious of Gene's boss to pitch in like that. That's going to be a fun evening. I hope all of y'all over there in side chat can make it.
I think it's going to be cool. I've seen those past preacher,
Yep, me too.
the teachable moment videos on Preacher's Day Off are extra nice. Y'all should go check those out if you get a chance. Copa Phil, thanks for coming by, Copa. We appreciate you, brother. And we'll get a big amen from Mock MCK.
Hey,
I
buddy.
didn't even see Mock come in. Hey, Mock.
Mark, are you going to do a video, or am I at liberty to tell? All right, that comment right there reminds me of an old joke, but I ain't going to tell it. I have to remember that when I get angry. It's usually because I feel like I have been disrespected. There isn't a whole lot of humility in that. Yep, I get it. And, you know, if you want to see, Christian people get really mad really quick, is just put them behind the wheel of a car and turn them loose. Why are we like that?
Yeah, I remember Joyce Meyer said one time, she goes, Don't be going and putting a Christian bumper sticker on your car, then get out there and act like the devil.
Yeah. Yeah. That that joke I was referring to about a cop stops a woman that's got a bumper sticker with her church name on the back of it, and got the fish and all that on there, and she's yelling at the women, leaning out the window, flipping birds and screaming and yelling profanities. So somebody cut her off in traffic. The cop pulls her over and arrests her for stealing a car.
Yeah.
I have a brief story to share. Speaking of driving and being a Christian, so last Monday when I was off, I went to town, got a few things, came back, filled up with gas, started into the country, started past the high school, and there's a wicked curve about a mile and a half past the high school, and it was raining, and I went around the curve, and there's a Jeep Cherokee, Grand Cherokee, that is obviously flipped 4 times. Boop, 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 boop. Or I should say boop, 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 boop. And it's up against the bank. There's a young man out on the bank. He's laying down. He's crying. He's talking on his cell phone. I go past. I said, I ain't going to say what I said, but I pulled into a driveway, turned around, came back. So I asked him if he was okay. He said, I don't know. I said, can you stand up? Do you have bones sticking out of you anywhere, or are you bleeding? No. So he stands up, and I help him across the ditch. And he's got big old holes in his ears. He's got tattoos up his neck. And he's just a young kid. And he starts jumping up and down mad and screaming, I'm effed. I'm effed. And I said, son, you just had a wreck. You're not effed. And he said, I just got that vehicle signed over to me. I don't even have insurance on it yet. I said, then what in the Sam Hill are you doing driving it? Well, I was going on a date. Well, about that time, his date shows up. And she pulls in there in a nice Cadillac. She gets out. She's a fine looking young lady, a beautiful girl. She hugs him up, talks to him for a little bit. And then she says, "You ain't going to leave him, are you?" And I said, "No, ma'am." I said, "I've already called the highway patrol. I'll be right here when they get here." And she says, "Okay." And she jumps in the car and leaves. I looked at him straight up and I said, "Well, there's a keeper." and he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "You weren't thinking about how slick the road was. You weren't thinking that the speed limit was 35 around that curve." I said, "You was thinking about that little gal right there in them tight blue jeans." And he went, "No, not well, yeah, okay, maybe, sir, I was." And I said, "Now you stuff strode all across the side ditch, car's totaled." And I said, "And you ain't got no insurance." Well, about this time, this little old lady, and you got to remember, it's the same way where Jamie lives, probably where CW lives. We're out in the country. People stop. They're going to see if you're all right. And this little old lady stops, and she gets out, and she says, "Everybody okay?" I said, "Yes, ma'am, I've called the highway patrol." Well, this kid starts into the whole I'm effed ramp again, jumping up and down. I reached over. I couldn't stand it no more. "Jamie, pray for me, please." I reached over and I grabbed him by his shirt collar. He probably weighed 130 pounds soaking wet. And I drug him up and got his face right close to mine. I said, "Son," I said, "if you cuss one more time in front of this lady," I said, "I'm going to break your neck. And I'm going to leave you right here in the side ditch." Like that. And he went, "Yes, sir." And he shut up. He just sat there and shivered the whole time. And finally, the lady, I said, "Ma'am, you might want to leave. He's got some cussing he wants to do." And I was done threatened him. I said, "I'll be here when the cops show up." And I stayed with him. But I had groceries in the car too. But it was one of those things where, you know, people perpetuate problems on their life, and that kid was one of them. You know, he was driving a car with no insurance, and you know, I said, "Son, it's not like you're going to jail unless you got some priors or something." And he didn't say anything, but a deputy sheriff finally showed up. He said, "Somebody call the highway patrol." I said, "Yeah, I did. Can I get out of here now?" And he went, "Yeah." I said, "All right, he's your problem." So I left, but I wasn't going to have that boy cussing in front of that old lady that just stopped to ask how he was. You know, I mean, that's I got a code. It's a messed up code, but I got a code. You know, you don't cuss in front of old ladies. No.
Mm-mm.
He shouldn't have been wanting to cuss in front of his girlfriend. Anyway, with that said, we got to start going through the room and clear the deck for Gizzard Gary at the top of the hour, or some semi-reasonable facsimile of said such. And we always let the American Hillbilly go first because he needs to get over there and help Gary as much as he can. So we'll let you do your outro first, Hillbilly.
Well, thank you very much, Jamie. Always a blast to be here. I absolutely love it. Always a great panel, side chat. What a great way to start the weekend. Thank you so much for having me. We got Guns Bearing Therapy tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. And we are doing a giveaway on there for the people who donated to help out the kids for Christmas. You know, some Christmas presents for less fortunate kids. So we'll be doing that giveaway tomorrow night, and hopefully having a lot of fun. And then I just putting out videos, you know, and stuff. So anyway, I actually put out one today about Pam Bondi, just some facts and my thoughts on that. Um, you know, question was, is she anti 2A? You know, and will is, you know, her position going to affect the Second Amendment. So anyway, you guys just kind of do your own research and stuff, and we got to try to protect our Second Amendment all we can. And thanks a lot so much for having me. Always a blessing to be here. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much.
Thanks for being here, Hillbilly. Mark, you want to go next?
Sure, why not? I don't have much to say. Thanks for having me. It's been a great evening. Might have took a little break there in the middle, but been an awful nice time. Hope everybody has a good weekend. Looking forward to the week coming up here, Christmas break, and well, good night, all.
Thanks for being here, Mark. We appreciate you, brother.
Thanks for having me.
Rebel, what you got coming up this week?
Grandbabies. I get
Yeehaw.
to see the grandbaby on Sunday, and we're gonna do early Christmas at my daughter's house, and my other daughter's home, my youngest daughter's home, with her cat. The Jack Russells don't like the cat, so it's gonna be an interesting week. But other than that, I've said enough, and I hope I helped somebody tonight. And if I didn't, I'm sorry. I rambled on too much. So,
Well, thanks for being here, brother.
yep.
Gene, what you got coming up this week?
Oh man, I guess I'm going to find out the beginning of the week. We only got 5 Mondays next week, so it should all be good. First Monday,
Mondays.
second Monday, third Monday. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks for having me on tonight. I appreciate every time. And Tommy Boy, thanks for the info on that brass. I'm going to relay that to my boss because I did not find that bid on it. But man, it's been a good chat, good side chat. Next week we're going to have a couple good things to give away for Christmas. And I just got in new stickers with my cartoon mug on them. If anybody would like one, just email me at reloadingfromthehotpot@gmail.com with your address, and I will pop one in an envelope and send it to you. Already got some of your addresses going on, so I got some envelopes already written out. But if we do not correspond on a daily, timely, weekly base, just email me with an address, and I'll send you one of these out.
Very cool.
Thanks for having me. Man, it's only once around the ride. So always remember to keep blowing the smoke.
Yeehaw. Mr. Walter, what you got coming up next week?
Well, first thing I want to get past this cold, and then I got a bunch of shooting to do because I didn't get out this week. So got a whole bunch of rounds loaded up to go get ready for next week's videos. We got Moldy Monday, we got Wadcutter Wednesday, and we got Free the Few Friday going on, plus a couple of other little doodads going on. I just got a big old gargantuan order in from Inline Fabrication because I'm going to redo some of my storage stuff on my main bench, and that's going to be a project. It'll take me a little bit of time, not much, but anyway, so that'll happen within the next 2 weeks. I'm looking at this package going, I don't know if I even want to open this. There's just too many parts that I ordered. So that's what we got going on over here at Casa de Viejo for the next week. It's going to be good. I'm happy to be here as always. I kind of was wore out last week, and maybe that's why I caught this cold. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for the invitation. It's good to see everybody on the side chat as always. And don't forget to get right back here next week because we're going to do some giveaways, and that's going to be fun. So that's what Viejo's got going on. How about you, Six? What's happening?
Not a lot. I try to get a bunch of work out before the Christmas holidays at work, so they got us busy there. It's raining this weekend, so our cowboy match is already canceled for tomorrow. There was a gun show. I might go to that. I don't know yet. Went to one last weekend. Didn't see nothing. Got home and I got an email from eBay. Somebody put a new scope on, and I went over and it had buy now, and I hit it. So I got a unboxing for that coming up. So Other than that, that's it for me. How about you, Brian?
Jailbird.
Nothing
Thanks,
going on
Dave.
for me. Of course, there's videos sitting there. They've been loaded for weeks up to the middle of January, so I'll have to do some searching. I only go on the phone and the tablet here, so I have a hard time navigating exactly where I stand, what's going on. I can't see my problems on there. I can't find them, so I don't know when I come back. No idea. But I'll have to move around some videos and get stuff back in order if they're not gone. Sometimes they're gone, sometimes they're not. Depends on what they want to do. So nothing going on for me, but videos going up on Rumble all the time. I got things going on. I got a couple of videos started, and they'll be coming along if I'm still here. So we'll see.
Well, we
You never know.
appreciate you. We appreciate you. We appreciate your time. We appreciate all of our guys on the panel. We appreciate all you guys on the side chat and ladies too, especially the ladies. I can't wait for next week. Just looking forward to spending more time with you guys and giving some stuff away. And so yeah, GGW says go dogs. Right here is Gene's email address. If y'all want to go over and send him an email to get one of those very cool stickers. We also have this, if it will help you in your Christmas shopping, at the Discovery Optics website. JH586MS39 is good for 10% off. As far as I know, that's still active and working. Other than that, guys, we hope the Lord blesses you all real good. And until next week, if He's willing, we'll see you next Friday night at 8 o'clock. And with that, say good night, y'all.
God bless everyone.
Hey, y'all.
Not everybody.
Welcome back.
Happy trails to you.